a person who ruled millions of hearts with his height and voice in the world of television, but lived with the truth till his last breath, which very few people know. Yes, we are talking about the legendary star of Gunsmoke, James Arness. James, who always smiled in front of the camera, had such a pain hidden behind his life which made his house of happiness desolate. The dreams he had seen with his wife and 3 children, time broke them one by one. And when he died, he left behind not only wealth worth crores, but also a mystery which surprised the fans, that why his house was deserted despite having so much wealth. What happened that this Hollywood star became anonymous in his last days? And why is the story of his death said to be so painful? If you also want to know what was the whole truth behind that deserted house of James Arness's life, his broken family and his inheritance of crores, then stay till the end of this video, because this story will touch your heart. So let's move ahead in the video. Before that, subscribe to our channel so that you get such videos first. On hearing the name of James Arness, people remember a tall, strong, and always smiling face. He became so popular with the show Gunsmoke that crores of people started considering him a real hero. But the pain and loneliness hidden behind that smile, he himself expressed it many times in front of the camera. James always used to say that things look as good from outside as they are difficult from inside. James himself told that the first injury in his life was in his childhood. He always felt himself different from others. In his school days, his height was so high that children used to make fun of him. He said that due to his height, he always remained aloof from others and felt lonely. This was the reason that he became a quiet person since childhood. Then when he grew up and got stardom, he felt that now everything will be fine. But even after becoming a star, there was no peace in his life. James had admitted in front of the camera that the breakdown of his first marriage was the biggest shock for him. He had said that he loved his first wife very much, but the pressure of fame and work spoiled their relationship. He was so busy in shooting that he could not spend time at home. His wife and children gradually drifted away from him. He had also told that his daughter's sudden death was the biggest shock for him. James had said that that moment was such that it changed his life. After that day, he could not remain the same person as before. He considered himself very guilty that he could not give his family the time and love that they deserved. James said that people always see how the hero looks on screen, but no one knows how broken his life is behind the screen. He had said very honestly on camera, "I have everything, name, fame, and wealth, but if the family is not happy, then all this is useless." Everyone was surprised to hear his words because he always looked so strong from outside, but from inside he was surrounded by loneliness and guilt. This was his biggest problem, which he had the courage to speak openly in front of the world. Hollywood's big star, early life, and story of stardom. Do you know that the beginning of this big star was very ordinary? He was also a very simple boy like us, who had only one dream in his mind, to become something in life. James was born on 26 May 1923 in Minneapolis, Minnesota, USA. His real name was James Arness. He was very shy in childhood because his height was much more than the children of his age. In school, everyone used to tease him by calling him Lambu, but this tall stature later became his biggest strength. James was hard-working since childhood. After high school, he did small jobs along with studies so that he could help his family. During the Second World War, James joined the army. There, everyone respected him after seeing his courage and passion. But in the war, he got a serious injury in his leg, due to which he had to bear a lot of pain, and he returned home. At that time, he was feeling very broken because his dream was to serve the country by becoming a soldier. But fate had something else in store for him. After returning home, one of his friends suggested that why not try his hand at acting? And then what? James turned to Hollywood. The beginning was not easy. He established himself by doing small roles. He often used to say that at that time he used to get rejected as many times as he used to give auditions. But he had not learnt to lose. In 1955, he got the biggest opportunity of his life, the role of Marshal Matt Dillon in CBS's famous TV show, Gunsmoke. This role was like a gift of fate for him. His strong voice, tall stature, and serious style brought life to this character. Soon he became a favorite in every household. People started considering him a real-life hero. James played this role for 20 years, and Gunsmoke became the longest-running Western show in the history of America. The show gave James the fame that he had never imagined. He used to say that Gunsmoke gave me everything that I needed: fame, respect, and people's love. James Arness proved with his hard work and passion that no matter how simple the beginning is, if one has courage, then a person can write his own destiny. Even today, people remember him, and the lesson from his story is that if you stand firmly for your dreams, then no difficulty can stop you. Love and marriage, a dream family. When people saw James Arness' life, they thought that this man was a lucky hero, a superstar in Hollywood, name, fame, wealth, and a beautiful family. The way he started his life afresh after marriage with his first wife and 3 children was no less than a dream. When he met Virginia Chapman for the first time, he could not believe that such an intelligent and mature girl could like a tall and a little shy boy like him. But Virginia not only accepted James's shyness, but also always supported him as a human being and an artist. After marriage, both of them built their own small world. The initial years were very good. James worked hard day and night, returned home after doing small roles, and Virginia always waited for him. Then, when he got a big break for Gunsmoke, it seemed as if God had heard his prayers. At that time, 3 small children played in his house, 2 sons and a daughter. James felt very attached to his children. He used to say that the real happiness is to hear the laughter of children at home after returning from shooting. He was often on shooting, but whenever he was at home, he spent a lot of time with the children. He would tell them stories, play in the lawn, and go out with the whole family on weekends. Virginia also paid a lot of attention to the upbringing of the children. From the outside, this family looked like a film story, but gradually, cracks started appearing in the walls of that dream house. Actually, after the success of Gunsmoke, James's schedule became so busy that he could not return home for weeks. He got so lost in shooting and promotions that he did not get time to meet the family. At the same time, Virginia also started getting tired of taking care of the children alone. She told James many times to give time to home along with work, but this was not possible for James. Slowly, silence started growing in the relationship. The children also started moving away from him. He used to say that he was most hurt when the children stopped talking to him openly. Especially his daughter's anger with him used to break him from inside. Fights between Virginia and James kept on increasing. There came a time when both of them became strangers even while living under the same roof. The children also started feeling suffocated in this environment. Finally, James and Virginia got divorced in the 1960 S's. James had admitted in one of his interviews that this was the biggest sorrow of his life. He had said, "Marriage breaking and being away from children is such a pain that bites from inside every day. Money is not everything. Nothing is more important than family. And I had lost all this." After the divorce, James tried a lot to establish a relationship with his children, but due to work and compulsions, he could not give as much time to them as he should have. His daughter did not talk to him at all for many years. This distance broke him from inside. Although James always used to laugh and smile from outside, but from inside, he was living in deep loneliness and guilt. He said many times that fame and success gave him a lot, but took away his family from him. Shock and grief, the biggest blows of life. On hearing the name of James Arness, the image of a strong and fearless hero comes to mind. On television, his character was always strong-willed, justice-loving, and standing up for the people. But the truth was that behind the scenes, James himself was fighting the biggest loneliness and desolation of his life. The same house, behind the walls where he dreamed of hearing the laughter of his family and children, remained deserted and silent till the end. When his marriage broke up and his children moved away from him, James once said in front of the camera that, "Now this house runs to bite me. Earlier when I returned home, the children would run to the door to hug me. Now the door just makes noise, as if no one is left." After his divorce from his wife Virginia, the children also did not want to spend much time with him. His daughter in particular was angry with him and did not talk to him for many years. His relationship with his sons also could not remain the same as before. Due to always being busy in work and not being able to pay attention to the home, his family slowly started moving away from him. Reaching the heights of fame also has a strange burden. People think that you have everything, but in reality you do not have those people for whom you did all this. This was James's story. His house was big, magnificent, but there was no voice left in it now. The children grew up and got busy in their lives. The relationship with Virginia had already broken, and James himself, even after so much fame, used to eat alone, sleep alone, and many times would just keep looking at the ceiling for hours on silent nights. People who saw him closely tell that there was always a slight sadness on his face. It was natural for this to affect his mental state as well. From the outside, he was always smiling and active for his role, but was broken from the inside. He had said many times that there was a guilt in his heart that I did not give my family the love and time they deserved. He used to say that his daughter not talking to him was the biggest blow for him. He would gather courage many times to go to his daughter, hug her, apologize, but could never find the right words. His sons would also meet him formally, but that closeness had been lost somewhere. Towards the end, James had started falling quite ill. He would go out less and stopped meeting people. He would just stay in his deserted house and would remain lost in memories. The house, which once echoed with his happiness, now seemed like a deserted mansion. After his death, when people heard that he left this world lying alone in his house, everyone was shocked. The person who gave happiness to millions of people, through his acting, was himself so lonely in his last days. Everyone's heart was saddened to know this. The last journey of this superstar was as painful and anonymous as the loneliness of his life. Even though people thought of him as happy and strong from the outside, he was broken from the inside for years. James' health was deteriorating for many years. With age, many diseases started surrounding him, especially his leg, which was injured during the war, was always in pain. Gradually, he stopped going out much. After retiring from shooting, he confined himself to the house. Whenever friends and relatives came to inquire about his well-being, he would smile and tell them that everything was fine, but the truth was that he had become very ill and very lonely. On the morning of 2 June 2011, news came from his home that James Arness was no more in this world. He said goodbye to this world while sleeping in his own home. It is said that his last moments were peaceful. His second wife, Janet, was with him, but his children and other family members were not present there. One of his close friends said that James always wanted that there should be no noise or pomp on his death. He just wanted to leave the world with simplicity. As soon as the news of his death came out, there was a stir in the whole of Hollywood. It was no less than a shock for the fans. He always seemed fearless and immortal in his roles. No one expected that his last moments would be so silent and lonely. Millions of fans wrote condolence messages for him on social media and newspapers. His co-stars of Gunsmoke also said that James' death feels like the end of an era. People still say that James's departure was not just the departure of one person, but the end of the hero of an entire generation. James Arness lived with the same simplicity and silence in his personality till the last moment of his life. Left behind crores of wealth, but questions remain. The name and fame that James Arness earned in his life is something that very few people are lucky to have. He earned crores of dollars from Gunsmoke, and even later he kept on accumulating a lot of money from many properties, investments, and royalties. When he died, according to reports, his net worth was said to be around $8 to $10 million, i.e. around 80 to 85 crores in Indian rupees. After leaving so much wealth, people thought that his house would be populated like a celebration. The family would keep that house safe with his memories. But the exact opposite happened. After his death, his magnificent house remained deserted. From the outside, it was still a luxurious bungalow, but from the inside it had become completely deserted and sad. People often asked that why is his house deserted even after so much wealth and such a big name? The real reason was his broken relationships. The biggest shock in James' life was the breakdown of his first marriage. When he got divorced, the relationship between him and his children deteriorated. His daughter was always angry with him, and he was not able to be as close to his sons as he was. And as long as James was alive, he tried many times to restore his relationship with his children, but that distance did not end. His second wife Janet was with him, but his relationship with the children always remained weak. After his death, there were reports of conflict in the family over the ownership of the house and the division of wealth. The children claimed their share separately, and no one wanted to live in that house. Some of James' close friends said that his children could not bear the memories associated with that house. That house was a witness to James's loneliness and the breakdown of relationships. Living there was emotionally very heavy for the children. Therefore, despite the house being worth crores, it was left deserted. It was another sad news for his loved ones that his house was lying vacant. People still wonder why his own people left him in his home after working hard all his life to earn so much wealth and make such a big name. This story of James teaches us that no matter how much wealth you have, the real wealth is relationships. If they break, then even millions of rupees are worth nothing. His deserted house and the wealth he left behind still leave the question that what is the most important thing in life, money or your people? James Arness's fans still look at his home and wish that house would have echoed with his laughter and the voices of children. But now that house stands only as a silent witness to his memories. As soon as the news of James Arness's death came out, his fans and the entire Hollywood industry were shocked. He was a name that had made a special place for itself in the hearts of people. The day the news came that the Marshal of Gunsmoke is no more in this world, thousands of fans wrote emotional messages for him on social media and in newspapers. People could not believe that the hero, who always stood up for others, who gave courage to people with his voice and his presence, has now gone silent forever. His fellow Hollywood actors also remembered him and said that there is no one like James. Those who worked with him on the sets of Gunsmoke told that he was not only a great actor, but also a big-hearted person. His fans also organized special shows and tributes in his memory. Many people shared his pictures and dialogues and told how James was their role model since childhood. They told how well done his handling of the press and how well. Even today, people remember him not only as an actor, but as a human being. His voice, his style, his character have settled in the hearts of people in such a way that even if he is not in this world, his memories will always remain alive. The characters played by him are still shown on TV and make new viewers his fans. This is the real stardom, when a person is gone but his image becomes immortal. But James's life also teaches us another big lesson. That is, no matter how much fame, money, and stardom one has, if the relationship with his people is not good, then everything seems useless. James touched heights in his career, but due to this he lost his relationships and personal life. He was left alone and his house became deserted in his last days. He himself once said that success gives you a lot, but it also takes away a lot from it. The real thing is how you keep balance in life. This is his biggest lesson. If balance is not maintained between work and family, then even wealth cannot make the heart happy. Even today, after hearing the story of his life, people think that, even for such a big superstar, the most important thing was family and his people. This story of James Arness reminds us that earning name, money, and fame is a good thing, but protecting your relationships, your people, and your happiness is much more important than that. This is the reason why people still respect him and remember him saying, "He was a hero and will always be." If you liked our story, then subscribe to the channel now, so that you can be the first to see such heart-touching stories and memorable anecdotes.